doesn't click in your head and you don't really think about Kenya, you will not get that round.
Yeah.
It has to be in your mind. Like Kenya has to come up as a thought even to be able to get the location. And it didn't come up for Flyme. And after the round, you can see his frustration because he knows that round is so gettable. If I even think of Kenya once, he will definitely get it just by how the neighborhood looks. But
it goes to show, I mean, again, there's so many things going through the brain of a GeoGuessr player, especially at this level of play. We can see the score of the other matches coming in as well. V89 taking Amarain 2-0. Eamon taking Karania 2-1 as well are the other matches we've had play so far here today. But to stay with that game for just a second, I mean, for Flyme, with the pressure being built on, knowing that you were ahead 1-0 and then potentially losing 2-1, it's pretty similar to the previous match we had, where we had, I mean, a close matchup to then just go boom, boom, game over. Anu able to strike back hard there.
Yeah. Kind of the same pattern, really, where both players almost had like the 3-point save and then the other player just came back swinging. And then maybe you kind of get nervous because you're like, oh my god, I was so close to getting 3 points and now I scrambled for 2 and now I didn't even get 2, I got 1. Just a very bad feeling overall, I would say.
Yeah, a tough one. A quick one of that too. Blinky, you miss it. There was a lot of points going against him once he committed to Chile. But that do be the game sometimes. This is as difficult as it gets. We're now going to head on over to Yannick versus Stefan. And since I have a German co-caster who did spend 1 year of his life in Delaware, and we get ourselves a German player, you know what? I'll let you talk to me about Yannick and Stefan.
Yeah, Yannick, very strong player from Germany, but I think right now the strongest player from Germany is without a doubt Lenly. I mean, he's putting up numbers. I think Yannick is not doing too well. It's not too bad, but at the same time, he could be doing better because I think definitely has more in store, just judging by how his competitive performance was in the normal GeoGuessr format and the competitive mode. So I was expecting a bit more, but on the other hand, we have Stefan, where I didn't really have too much expectation for him. But he has been playing really well so far, I have to say. I'm quite impressed by him. And the numbers are against Yannick, and my sentiment is also kind of that Stefan is the favorite player here.
Yeah.
It's sad to say for me, but I have to give it to our Polish neighbors here. And as you can see, Yannick pretty far down the leaderboard with a lot of games played as well. So it's pretty hard for him to come back.
I'd say that's the one thing, right? Because we say pretty far down the leaderboard. It's 10 points apart in placements, but it's just 4 points. I mean, that's the thing. If you look at the leaderboard overall, it's insane how close it is. Up in the top, there are certain players that are starting to run away with it. But in the grand scheme of things, it is really close. As we get into game number 1, round number 1. And Yannick here trying to take on Stefan and see if he can claw back up the leaderboard.
And we're gonna start with a bilingual sign here. Interesting. Not sure if I saw that correctly. Yeah, it is. It is Swedish and Finnish, so we're going to be on the southern and west coast of Finland. That is where they speak both languages.
Big baits coming through for all the GeoGuessr players that come in and go, oh, look, it's Swedish sign somewhere. And then you go, Sweden, nope, wrong. But it do be like sometimes this way. We'll now see. I mean, if you know the region already, I'm surprised that they're still maneuvering around as much as they are. You know the approximate, but is the area big enough that it could be big points even in round 1?
It's just a very long area. It's just literally the coastal areas in the west and south. So it could still be big points. But if you find a town name, it's very easy to scan for because it's limited.
Of course. Well, we'll see if anyone gets it. Yannick is going to just default into Helsinki. It's on the very southern tip of the mainland of Finland. There's 24 points will go against Stefan. So Yannick, while maybe not being the player seeded to win this, you know, today has been a day of upsets, starting off with Sp4ghet taking on Blinky. So maybe Yannick can bring this one home against Stefan too.
And we're not leaving the same language group because I thought we're looking at Estonian there, judging by also the road, short dashes instead of solid line. Really, in the Baltics, it's really only. No, that is Lithuanian. Wait,
we're getting baited. We're getting baited.
I am trolling. But this is a good sign for Yannick here. Basically gives you the 2 road numbers. And maybe if you find one of the big towns, he found one.
Yeah.
Can he find the another one? He did. And now he can just click.
Yannick,
in the right town. Click.
Give us that
click.
5K. We haven't had a single 5K today. Line it up, my man. You know you want to. Yeah, there we go. Look down on the ground. Line it up with a compass. He's looking towards the southeast part of town. Now going back to where he originally started. It's looking good. Are we getting the first 5K of the day, chatters? Or what are we looking at here?
I don't think he's exactly on it, though.
Oh, yeah. He's not. Unfortunately, I thought he had it for a second there, but no. Road didn't quite line up. But still, a good start for him taking 2 rounds in a row.
You know, lining up, not really worth it in this mode, but, you know, for the viewers, you can do it. Why not?
Gotta do it for the viewers. You always have to if you can. That's my rule.
True.
That's why I don't make the decisions. I was gonna say this looks like Japan with the polls, and now with them looking at the polls, I would have to say that that's probably true.
Yeah, and we have a long plate, so it's gonna be Hokkaido. We also have these claymores, like heating things on the houses, which is also common in the northern parts of Japan, so it basically confirms the Hokkaido shout. So it should be safe to say that we're gonna be on the... I say island of Hokkaido, but really Japan is just islands in general, but...
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of just that GeoGuessr thing. For me, Japan mainland is not an island.
Hondo.
You could fight me on it.
Is it Hondo? It's called, I think, right? Yeah, mainland Japan.
I don't know. If it's not important for GeoGuessr, I don't know it.
You only know geography. That makes sense in GeoGuessr.
I don't know geography. I only know GeoGuessr.
Fair enough. But they're both going up towards Hokkaido, the northern big island. And they're both going to be correct, at least in the island. But despite that, both also pretty far off. Hamanaka is where it was, and neither of them were within 250 kilometers.
Yeah, Hokkaido can be quite hard. Even if you find a road number, they're not really ordered. So.
Ooh. Now tell me this one is an easy one, because it looks very difficult to me. But it's probably this is the only city that looks like this. Something like that.
Something like that. And Yannick found a very good coverage here, because he found a coverage where the antenna is short and blurred. And we had it earlier where I said it's going to be north of Ufa somewhere, and it's the exact same area again.
Oh.
And maybe Stefan didn't see that. Or maybe there are some small areas in Moscow that have it as well. So it could be there. But it is where Yannick is. That's
nice.
almost the game here. Almost.
Almost, but not quite. Had we been 1 round further into the multipliers, it could have been. I like how I'm not the only one that just kind of sends it a bit east of Moscow. When in doubt, thank you, Stefan, for proving to me that that strat is, in fact, viable. Even if the round didn't go his way. But he's playing from behind now, sat at 1400 health. Needs something going his way in round number 5.
Yeah, we're not trying to leave Eastern Europe here. We're back again in Hungary this time with that language. And both of them have the same sign on their screen. Love to see it. And do they know something? Because they're both... Wait, did he... He found a similar name and they're kind of ordered. And it seems like Stefan actually found the exact town. So, yeah. It's gonna be a 5K.
Any 5Kers in the chat? Yes, there are. The first one comes through for the day. Stefan strikes home. Doesn't really strike big because, well, they're both in and around the correct area, but still, we like to see it.
Yeah, you like to see it, especially on a very random town name like that.
Yeah.
You know?
When's that gonna rush around? I mean, we're having a hard time today. What does Yannick see? He zoomed into that city very quickly.
The sand on the side of the road, but Stefan should be able to find an address on this.
5 seconds.
Oh, he's not sure.
Oh,
no, he's in so good as well.
This could be game. This probably will be game because now it's the other way around. Yannick 800 meters off, and that is an easy peasy.
No, they're both in the same city.
They're both equally far off. I thought he was on it. I thought it said 800 meters.
No, 800 meters would be a crazy guess.
I got baited so hard.
I was like, what is this guy talking about?
I got baited so hard. I need to get some more water. My brain is malfunctioning.
Malfunction? Speaking about. Playing later, but we're gonna be in Canada for now.
I baited myself so hard on that one. That was funny. I was ready to jump out of the chair of excitement, but not to be. We're staying in this one at least for a little while longer, as both players in the last one was equally far from the exact location. Stefan still lingering around 1400 health. What do we got to work with here, Siggy?
Yeah, it looks like a Western Alberta to me, because I think we had mountains west. And it looks like Canada. So I was thinking somewhere in Alberta. And people are trying to look at the plates. And we are both in Alberta, so shouldn't be the game here unless we have a big difference in where they in Alberta they guess, but they look very close to each other.
Oh. Yeah, just outside of Calgary. Again, small damage, but importantly for Sp4ghet able to stay alive and take a bit off the health bar from Yannick, because we are getting closer to that eventual, should we get there, round 10, and by that point you would really want to have less points to worry about than almost 3,000.
Yeah, now we spawn in a pretty free round, I would say. I think we had just like the T on the hill, so it should be like Rize or Trabzon in Turkey here with the white car. But now, finding the bin. Just find the bin. That is really important to get the exact city. Because for Yannick, that could mean a win, and...
Definitely could. Don't swim, don't fish, you can't do anything around here. This is no fun town. Rice is where Yannick is going. Do you like this?
Yep, that's what I said, Rice, Trabzon area.
Yep. Well, they're going each their city. Let's see who gets it. It's gonna be Yannick. Is it going to be enough? You'd have to imagine not. No, not quite.
Not really.
But half health off. Sp4ghet coming into round 9 now needs to hit home twice and has to hit pretty darn big in order to turn this one around.
Yeah, and we are gonna be in Germany, it seems. So if Yannick can find any information, he'll definitely be able to use it. Neukirchen, and he has a how would you call it? Autobahn number. Highway.
Let's see. Sp4ghet, southeast side of Munich, down towards Salzburg. Yannick is a bit further north here.
Yeah, he found the... Wait, did he find it? I'm not sure if he found the exact number, but...
Equal distance? Nope. But still. At least a little bit closer. We'll see. Coming into round 10 now, if 170 points is going to be the difference maker in whether or not Yannick wins this one. It's round number 10. Sp4ghet needs something massive. And is this what he wants to see?
It's a massive country. I mean,
yeah.
Western USA here is a given. But if there's any information for the state, it might be over for Sp4ghet. But it seems like so far, no, definitive clues.
He needs to take off at least 3,400 health from Yannick in this round. It is round 10. Should it be, I mean, even if no one goes all the way down to 0, it's the one with the most health left by the end of this one. Lancaster, St. John. I feel like US smaller cities can be baity, because I feel like half of the states have all the same city names, but he found it.
He found it.
Imagine the turnaround.
I mean, Yannick is in the right state, so he shouldn't be too far off.
Well, we'll see. He's nodding. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Nah, nowhere near. That's why you need the big points early on in the game. Yannick loses the round, but with the most health left alive, he is going to take the game regardless. And now sits up 1-0 against Sp4ghet, who, I mean, as you said as well on paper, would look to be the victor. But then again, if we have to go back to anything we've seen throughout the day, the player that wins moving loses 2-1.
Yeah, true. I mean, Yannick basically won the moving game by that one rush, I guess, where he switched into the right coverage, where you had the better meta.
This looks like a Windows background.
Yeah, Canada be like that sometimes.
Well, quick picks coming in. Minimal damage to follow. As we get round 1 out of the way as quick as can be. And now head on into round number 2. Sp4ghet able to hit home early on here. Minimal damage at that. But let's get into round 2.
Round 2 looks like New Zealand. You love to see it.
If you're who?
Me.
Bone welfare. I was thinking maybe Yannick or Sp4ghet has the upper hand on this.
I don't think so, but you know.
I mean, you've obviously traveled the entirety of New Zealand, so tell me where this is.
Well, I haven't been on this road, I can tell you that much. But I quite like Yannick's guess. It just looks like generic North Island, middle.
We'll see if he's going to get it with it. Sp4ghet looking to follow suit. A bit further north. No, now actually almost at quite on top of one another. Should have gone a bit further north, but it's not really going to matter too much. Minimal damage being done here in this one. 28 at that is Sp4ghet. Stays flawless. 6k health still left to work with. But could only imagine that Yannick is going to strike back eventually.
he will definitely get the opportunity to strike back. Whether he will strike back, we don't know. But will we see somebody lining up the 5k here? Because I think the road should be pretty easy. And finding a big river, also possible. It should be the main highway going from Santa Fe to Corrientes, somewhere on that span.
Santa Fe is where Yannick is looking, trying to line up roads. You have a big river, you got a big highway, maybe you can find the crossing here.
Yeah, it's a split highway especially because there's not that many of those in Argentina.
River crossing, highway split. They're both looking up and down this road, but of course it's a pretty long one at that. So could still be big points between them, should they not sit right next to each other. But it seems like they are pretty much in agreement of where they should be posted. And well, should have opted to go further south than that one.
Yeah, never mind. I'm wrong, they are wrong, we all are wrong. That's okay.
For Yannick, important though, able to turn this one around, able to maintain the no flawless. With Stefan able to sit him down at 5,200 health now, going into round number 4, where once again you don't really have too much to work with. I say that, but we all know that, I mean, with the Finbar and everyone else looking towards the southeast, you guys all know exactly where we are.
Yeah, very interesting antenna with a flag on it. Happens in a few countries in Europe. Romania, Bulgaria, Czechia, Hungary. And with the hook pole, we should be in Bulgaria. And that's where both players are.
Yep, each their side of the country. Stefan is going to be closer this time around. 1,200 damage, starting to hit a little harder, even only in round 4. The distances between these two are getting that much bigger, even when within the same country. Heading into round number 5 now. Beautiful location in Kazakhstan. Yeah,
it is, and I mean both players will know road pretty much because of Kazakhstan. It is what it is.
Any 10 cares?
I quite like Yannick's lineup right now.
It doesn't look too bad. Stefan, go east, bro. We have a 10k emote. We never get to use it. Give it to us.
I mean, I don't think we'll get a 10k here.
Wait, he's going west on this.
Oh, they're both in the same region.
I was gonna say they're both on the same road, but they're both just a little bit off. Unlucky. It was meant to be, but not quite the case. As we head into round number 6, but what a beautiful location.
Yeah, the 10k emote. We're gonna need to wait a bit more on that. It's like Scotland here.
A rare Scotland. I feel like it's been a while since we've been up there.
Yeah. Also just looks like, I don't know, just hills and fields. Yeah. Not much going on here.
Yannick going right onto the O in Kingdom. But Stefan is looking to go really hard north on this one. 3.5 times multiplier. This could hurt. It most likely will, and indeed it will. This is going to be big.
Points. I mean, this is going to be like, 3.5k. Yeah. And I did lie because it was England, but very close to the Scottish border.
Can't trust him, guys. You heard it
Can't trust me. I mean, I'm not playing for a reason.
Full of lies. Never to be trusted. Okay, so both of these guys first instantly look towards watermark. Or copyright, whatever you want to call it.
It's very helpful in Europe, especially because in Europe you don't really have that many, vegetation clues to go off, so you resort to copyright. My first instinct here was Belgium, but we have no car, so it could also be Austria.
Is there anything on the... It's not even a bullet, it's just a fencing for the corn or whatever that field is.
The corn makes more sense for Austria as well.
Well, northwestern Austria.
But we have Belgium, so both countries I mentioned, one person will win here, and it is Belgium.
And it will be Belgium. Will it be enough to bring home the window? 4 times multiplier easily come through as once again the script stays true. The winner of moving sends it in to NMPC. Oh, wow. Now, the last 2 times we've had this happen, it's been GG in game 2, or round 2. Let's see if Stefan can do this, or if Yannick can break the curse that has been the last 3 games.
Well, they both will get the country on this round. I am quite sure.
Woohoo! A newer, I guess we should call it. Would you still consider Oman new? I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, but I think Oman was a pretty boring addition because it's just a desert.
Doesn't even line up to 10k.
True.
Well, there's the first round. Let's see if you can now take 5,900 points off of Yannick in round 2 to stay true to the script. Or if Yannick will be able to turn this one around as we go from no trees to, I won't say plenty of trees, but at least a few more. What are we looking at here? Come on, Siggy. That's your job here. You're the one who's supposed to give all the insights. Where are we?
I was about to say what the Sigma because I have no clue what I'm seeing here. My initial thought was also Argentina or Uruguay, so I don't hate the guess, but what am I looking at? I would love to see the pole on the left. There's definitely a pole, but I can't see it.
We can go by exclusion. It's not Denmark. It's not
Germany.
It's not Amsterdam, specifically, nor is it Netherlands, totally. It's probably not Belgium either. So now we got, like 190 countries left?
I mean, I guess Russia makes the most sense.
This could be game. We're going far east Russia towards... and up in Siberia for Yannick. This is...
I mean, I like Stefan's guess more, but... what is that location, though? Okay, I mean...
Wow! Welcome to NPC, guys, where chaos happens.
That's a Russia moment. Stefan being in the right country, 6,000 kilometers. 6,000 kilometers away in the right country.
Love to see it. I love to see it mainly because neither of the two players actually got eliminated off of that round, because that would have been kind of unfortunate this happened in round 8. But not quite the case. Sochi.
We're gonna stay in Russia.
Stefan is going down towards the 2014 Winter Olympics.
Correct. Can see remnants of that in Street View as well, because that's the good part about Street View. It's, you know, retrospectively you can look at things. Unless you're looking at Germany, because you can't. Only new coverage there.
Only new coverage. Well, Insta Tunis. Zoom in. What do we see here that's Tunis specific?
Not Tunis specific. I mean, just the trees and how it looks. Just Tunisia, just guess it. Not that much to look at.
A rare round 5 in an NPC, because I feel like throughout the day when we've gone to an NPC, it's been done for in just the first couple of rounds. But yet another pretty location, mountains there in the distance. Some text to work with too, but is there anything that you can really use for anything here?
I wish I could read the text, because that definitely is a logo of a city.
Izmir? I mean, there's some distance in between these two initial hunches.
The thing is, what is weird, it looks like southern coast, but the mountain we were looking at to the east is more south. Like, maybe it can be where Stefan is, but again, I can't read what it says. I don't see the water tanks well enough to make a educated guess here.
Let's see. Antalya, just east thereof, is where Stefan is going. Alanya is where Yannick is looking. Two big tourist destinations.
That's where both are. Both are in Alanya right now.
Oh, they are there. True. And they're both equally far off. And you know what? I think they were both, if not in that specific city, then close there too earlier. But both opted to leave.
Stefan did not check that city. Yannick did at least check that coastline. You kind of scan the entire coast.
Yet another screensaver. Just screenshot. Go mountains, go Alps, go next.
Go Switzerland, go next. That is true. Low camera here. Pretty hard to see actually in this location, but could be the Gen 2 coverage.
Very, very beautiful location. Nonetheless. They're
It's
both,
probably
of course, taking their time, and it's a pretty important round. You don't want to make any big mistakes, and you never know. Maybe there's something that... We've seen it so many times before, where one locks in, and the split second later, you see him, like, hands to the head and go, oh no, I missed something crucial. I mean, the Blinky game earlier today is a pretty good reminder of that. So if you have the time, and if you're not in a hurry to get it, knowing that it's a country like Switzerland, it's not going to be too wild anyway.
Okay,
if you do actually go into France, or is it border?
It's the border. As I said, it looked like low cam, but it was Gen 2 coverage. So, yeah, we all did the same mistake as well. Both of them going kind of Switzerland, but they were also not sure. And we're going to be back in Russia, it seems.
Is this game, are you calling it, or is it easy?
I mean, this looks like a round somebody could know. I don't know it personally. I'm very much not liking to learn Russia.
Well, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to. If you want to play at this level anyway, there's only so much you can go, no, I don't want to do it. And that's learning Denmark, because who cares, right? But here we are, Stefan, the first one to look at the map. Ooh,
he goes Bratsk. Bratsk has red soil and cracked pavement, but usually it's not rainy there. I don't know if that's really true, but yeah, we're definitely gonna see the game here, I think.
Yep. 4 times multiplier, big country, and quite a bit of distance in between the two. Yannick is way further west, continuously moving even further towards the west. We'll see if he's going to get it. It's going to be a 2-1 regardless. One of these two will come out victorious, and it's going to be Stefan staying true to the script. Yannick looks dominant and moving, but he strikes back and makes it a 2-1.
Yeah, seems like winning and moving is not the play if you want to take the 2 points here. It's just not the move, guys. It's just not.
Don't win moving. Just Alt F4 and then come back and no move. That way you win the whole series.
Yeah,
Bummer for Yannick. You can see the frustration on his face there as well. Because, I mean, again, he had moving. And he, for a bit, looked pretty decent in no move. But then Stefan just turned on the thrusters.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on today, but that's how every single game is panning out to. Just, you know, dominant and moving. Then the first 6 rounds and no move, also dominant. And then Stefan just strikes back with an insane guess. And the game is just over. So
it's tough.
And NPC as well. Yeah.
Yet another NPC. Yet another costly one of that. And a lot of Russia. I feel like in this one in particular, a tricky one. But hey, at least it lasted us longer than 2 rounds. So there is that.
True.
Any big rounds that stood out to you in this matchup that you kind of want to go over as calling the deciding one outside, of course, of this very final one?
I mean, the decider was pretty much who knows Russia there. And in the first round, I was clueless. They were clueless.
I was clueless too because I thought someone won it. So
both in the right country in that round, and the closest one was like 3,000 kilometers. So you can make whatever out of that if you want to. And then the second Russia, you know, it's just if you know a type of location again, and that's how Russia really waters down to sometimes.
Yeah.
If you like it or not, it is what it is, and you have to know it.
A tricky game, but nonetheless a game that Stefan can now say, whew, we got that one out of the way. Let's GG and go next. As we two go next, we go Blinky once again versus Clement. Now, coming into the day, I looked at this match.